I have no future, and I'm basically already just waiting around to die. That might sound like a completely irrational and wrong statement, but I don't think it is. You probably can't see me that well, but the video quality doesn't exactly matter. You might get some good shots here and there, but this camera doesn't do night recording very well, although it's quite a bright and clear night. So, everyone always thinks it's irrational to say you have no future, especially when, in the grand scheme of things, your life has hardly started. But I don't think it ever will start, and my only end is death. And at this point, I already welcome it when it gets here, because when you're stuck in a hopeless mindset, a hopeless place, frankly at this point, a hopeless world, you kinda... I'm trying to put it into words. It's not like a depressed, suicidal way that you feel when you get like this, like I am. It's more a nihilistic numbness sort of feeling, almost. Like, oh, haha, I want to die. Well, I guess that is another thing where, is it the fact that you want to die, or do you just not want to be here? Because it's two different things. And I think it's just I never wanted to be here in the first place. I just want to disappear back to the void. And why am I feeling like this? Well, I think we could all look at the world and say it's hopeless. I mean, it always was in my philosophy, but just from a personal point of view as well. Of course, you get people that say, oh, well, don't you want to follow the script? Follow the right way of doing things? Get a house, a load of material stuff and nice cars, start a family, spend the rest of your life at work being as depressed as everyone else. No, the fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I mean, when it comes to the family part, I hate this shit myself. Why would I force it on someone else? Why would I do something like that? But what I want out of life, I guess, if anything, is gone. And I fear it's never coming back. And in some cases you might even say it never was here. The illusion of it was. But in practice, it was never here. And that is just freedom. Self-sufficient. Answering to no one. And it's being able to live on your own terms. And you might go, oh, well, you are free, you can be free. Well, you can't. Because you're still reliant on someone else and a system. Like, you can say you're free, but you go to work. You're reliant on that job for money to pay for whatever it is you need to pay for. I'm assuming a house in this case. But then you're also reliant on banks and reliant on the government to keep running, and reliant on other systems for your food and your water and shelter and all these other little things that if you look at it through just that one lens, like you just look at it and don't really think about it, you can say, oh, well, you can be free. Well, you can't. You're still subject to something. And the US and that, they'll call themselves the land on the free, I'll go to the US and all this. It's not free. Because freedom to me isn't just, oh, you have some amendments that protect you, congratulations. Freedom to me is, you don't need that in the first place. Right? Like, if you ask me, your amendments don't give you rights. They just try to protect them from the government, although they're questionable if they work, because the government will just trample over them anyways if they really want to. Although I guess the US might give a bit of resistance, but let's be honest, didn't look promising. But yeah. Plus, just look at the world in general. No country is actually free. There's nowhere you can go where you can actually be off grid and not need some sort of permit or license or have sort of paperwork and names to something. It's strange to put into words without it sounding like a total, like you want to go back to the Stone Age, but it's not that. Like I say, it's hard to put into words what I'm feeling for someone who doesn't understand what I'm feeling, which I guess is what I'm trying to do with this video. But yeah, again, I'm a Brit, if you haven't already been able to tell, so it just ends up being 10 times worse, because we've got a real sheep herd mentality over here. I mean, you just have to look at all the crap how they're spouting about every time Keir Starmer does something. Oh, this will get him kicked out of office, we need to kick him out of office, and no one does anything. Realistically, we can't, because they disarmed everyone who might have, because I suppose back then they trusted them to do that. But yeah, I guess you let someone take your freedoms and disarm you, you deserve what comes next. I'm part of the generation caught in the crossfire, born too late to actually do anything about much of anything, and now we're just sitting here riding this wave until something happens, if it does. But if nothing does, well, and I guess it's good I've got the mindset that I don't care if I live or die. And brings me to another point. Jobs. Obviously, we've had Christmas and New Year, and I've had family members asking me, oh, you got a job, are you getting a job sorted, and all this load of crap. Why? Now, this next bit, I'm going to try and explain slow, so I try and get it out the best way I can. How that's going to pan out, I don't know. Because people are going to start saying, oh, you just want to live with the government, you just want benefits and all this load of crap. No, believe me, I don't. Personally, I don't believe in taxation and all that. I think that's pretty obvious from this channel. I don't trust the government one fucking bit. Especially after all the recent shitteries that I've grown up around. But jobs, back on track. You get a job because you want money, because you want to buy things. But there's nothing I really want that would warrant a job in the traditional sense of stuff. and such, because as I say, what I want's gone. I'd want a place, you know, the cabin in the woods fantasy thing is kind of wishful thinking, but I guess that's the closest analogy to the kind of thing I'd want if I wanted a permanent residence. I don't know, I've looked at the nomad lifestyle and that, because I've had a few YouTube videos on that pop up recently, and of course I just get shot down every step of the way if I want to try it or learn a new skill for it or something, because again, I live in the UK. Wild camping is technically illegal here, believe it or not. I think Scotland's the only area it's not, and I'm nowhere near Scotland, and I'm not in walking distance of it either, so I ain't gonna get there. That brings me to my next point. Cars and vehicles. So you buy a car, or I guess you could put any vehicle here to get to work. Then the money you earn at work goes to, well, you need license, insurance, have to pay road tax, and I'm sure there's a load of other shit I've totally just forgotten about for the sake of this video that is there that you need to do. But I guess where I see it is you're just paying to work at that point. If I got a vehicle, I don't know, don't even know what sort of vehicle I'd go for. I have been asked this recently, of course, because I'm that age now where this sort of stuff gets brought up. Let's walk around this field. But yeah, I don't really know what I want, and I think anything I'd want to do, I'd get. That's deer. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm running across the gravel over there. Back on track. Yeah, what I'd want is going to get pushed back from just about everyone, because I don't follow the life script. There's nothing I see here that is a viable future, even with the whole get out of the system and that. I still don't see a long-term future in it. I'm basically just waiting to die, which I guess you could say whatever you do, you are, because it's inevitable. But yeah, I think just jobs in general aren't for me, because again, I'm a night person. I can't for the life of me sustain being up during the day. I don't know why, but just since my early teen years it's been like this. So there's that. And night shift work, I've looked at like security jobs and that, because I've heard they're good for night shift work, and where I am you need what's called a SEER license, and those are again a thing you have to pay for, and you have to pay to renew it every year, and that's just to get this job. So you can't even get a job and just be left alone. You still have to pay for something to keep it. And again, like I was saying about the whole car thing, where I live, I can't exactly just walk to these places. Like they're a ways away, well, on foot. So what the hell do? I end up having to get my bank account for paychecks. I end up having to get my car and paying all that off and all the bills that come with that. And I end up getting trapped in the system like every other poor bastard. So yeah, I really don't know what to do. I truly don't know where to go from here. Yeah, I think I'm done yapping for this one. I might expand on this topic further in the future, but I just feel totally hopeless. And I know some people out there understand, because I've seen videos, again, like this on YouTube, where people just don't know where to go, what to do, feeling totally hopeless like me. I think it is a bigger problem than just a few people. I think something somewhere went wrong and we're just now noticing it. But yeah, say something in the comments on your way out, I guess, and see you in the next one.